Husband, is it sweet? In the Li mansion, a beautiful nun fed a grape into Li Su's mouth. Sweet, indeed sweet. Li Su likes eating grapes the most. The new rogue cultivators meeting is coming soon. Li Su went to have a look. His main purpose this time is to see the changes of the rogue cultivators, inquire about the news, and see if there is any trace of the devil cultivator in the 3 major fairy gate areas. Compared with the 3 great fairy sects, these rogue cultivators are actually more down to earth and more in number, and sometimes they are better able to learn some gossip. Li Senior is here. As soon as Li Su arrived, a large number of rogue cultivators surrounded him. There are more rogue cultivators coming this year, and there are a lot of rogue cultivators active in Siki and Bayon. And the number of female nuns has also increased. Many of these female cultivators are from Siki Kingdom and Bayon Kingdom. The female cultivators in Wu Guzhang, who are more handsome, are basically married to Li Su. Compared with the number of ordinary people, the number of cultivators is still much smaller. No way, spiritual roots are rare. Sometimes, even if there are hundreds of thousands of people in a city, not a single person with spiritual roots can be born. There is also a possibility that someone has spiritual roots, but has not been discovered in a lifetime. Even he himself did not find out. Li Su estimates that there are quite a few buried people like this in the 3 major immortal gate areas, but with the conditions of this world, it is impossible to conduct a large-scale spiritual roots test. Under normal circumstances, people who have entered the spiritual roots, even if they don't practice, will have some differences from ordinary people since childhood. Such as greater strength, better spirit, and smarter. Spiritual roots products, when you breathe, will bring some spiritual chi. Even if you don't practice, it will have some beneficial effects on the body in the long run. Therefore, it is not easy for spiritual roots to be buried after entering the product. In this world, in addition to the immortal sect and the immortal clan, there are also a large number of secular sects in the secular world, and there are more acquired and innate masters than immortal cultivators. It's just that in Li Su's eyes, these Hushan and innate masters are nothing. In fact, these acquired and innate masters still have some reputation in the local area. If the children of any family are different from ordinary people since childhood, they will often be very well trained by some local schools. If it is confirmed that there are spiritual roots, these sects will try their best to send the child to the fairy gate. In these secular sects, this is called Jia Shenyuan. This is also the way of survival of some secular sects. On Xianju Mountain, Li Su was surrounded by many rogue cultivators. The rogue cultivators were extra enthusiastic this time around. Li Su also learned something from this. After Bai's surname cultivator was resolved, there were far fewer rogue cultivators who lost contact from time to time in the past. This Bai surnamed cultivator, as long as there is a chance, he will still attack individual rogue cultivators from time to time. It's just that the efficiency of doing so is too low, and it is not easy to find these rogue cultivators. On Xianju Ridge, there were too many rogue cultivators, and the Bai cultivator was very cautious, but did not cause trouble at the rogue cultivators' rally. This guy, timid, it's hard to make a big deal. Li Su thought. They are all devil cultivators. If the cultivator named Bai is bolder, after the Foundation establishment late stage, he can set up an ambush on Xianju Ridge and wipe out all the rogue cultivators here. Even if there is a great possibility that some will run away, after this wave, if they find a place to hide and digest the harvest, they will develop much faster than now. But the guy didn't dare. This also shows that, at least in the 3 major fairy gate areas, devil cultivator can only hide and hide, like a mouse in the gutter. Righteousness is prosperous, which is a good thing. It is also possible that the cultivator surnamed Bai is preparing to reach the peak of Foundation establishment, or a wave that will be stronger later. This guy even thought about Li Su and invited Li Su to the Blackwood Forest several times. It is estimated that this guy is not sure how to deal with Li Su. In the Blackwood Forest, he can take advantage of the opportunity to strike. At night, Li Su has a pile of handkerchiefs, embroidery and other tokens of love in his hand. This time, there were even more nuns who handed him love tokens. Many of them are female cultivators from Siki and Bayon. Can make some rogue cultivators envious, then. In the next 1 or 2 years, the Li house continued to have happy events again. The ancestor of the Li family accepted the fairy again. Yes, it's a pity, my daughter has just reached the age of the crown, but now the ancestor of the Li family only accepts fairies. The Los Angeles area was filled with joy again. Rarely, there are people out there who are depressed. Because Lee Su likes to take concubines, the phenomenon of patriarchy in the Los Angeles area has been changed to some extent. Many rich families and even ordinary families hope to have a beautiful daughter so that they can marry into the Lee family. However, the value of the face is also hard to come by. After many people's daughters grow up, they feel that they can't do anything. There are also some people whose daughters look so-so, but now Lee Su has married all fairies. These people can only be depressed there. No way, how can a mortal compare with a fairy? Fairies are not only as beautiful as celestial immortals, but also have a transcendent temperament. Many people dream of marrying a fairy, and let them die the next day. They are all willing. 40,000. After more than a year, the population of the Lee family increased to 40,000. This time the increase of 10,000 was faster. According to the population growth model, it will be faster in the future, and it can even show geometric exponential growth in the future. Lee Su thought. He couldn't help but look forward to it. This time, after the population breakthrough of 40,000, the 100-year cultivation base is still rewarded, and the overall improvement for the family is also given. The offspring of Lee Su have a chance of having spiritual roots increased by 0.1%. Why is it only 0.1? Lee Su thought. 0.1%, so low. But this can also explain the difficulty of owning spiritual roots itself, which should be related to the rules of heaven and earth. The system can reward 0.1% improvement, which is already very good. This is for the entire family. After the family's population base increases, this improvement will still have a significant effect after a long period of time. It's not bad. After Lee Su figured it out, he smiled. Nanming, eat these medicine pills. Yes, father. In Lee's residence, Lee Su called several elderly children and gave them longevity pills. Each of these children is over 100 years old. He is also mainly responsible for managing the Lee family. The ability is not bad. The most important thing is that everyone is very reliable, so that Lee Su doesn't have to worry about family affairs. As Lee Su's first children, they also have prestige in the family, and many things can be resolved without Lee Su's presence. The Lee family is also getting bigger and bigger. In Wu Kingdom, the power is already comparable to that of the royal family. No, more aloof than royalty. Among the descendants of the Lee family, some descendants expect the Lee family to replace the royal family, and some descendants also use the influence of the Lee family to continuously enter the court. But Lee Su is not interested in this. Managing a country is too cumbersome. If the current Lee family replaces the royal family, there will be too many things to do. The current Lee family can't control it. Unless Lee Su takes care of it himself, but Lee Su doesn't want to be dragged into it. In the blink of an eye, several years passed, and the fairies in Shina of Lee Su gave birth to offspring for Lee Su one after another. Lee Su has descendants of spiritual roots, and before he knew it, there were 40 of them. Well, it is mainly due to the fact that there are enough fairies in Lee Suna. However, among the current fairies, the one with the most has given birth to 3 offspring with spiritual roots for Lee Su. The least one only gave birth to 1 child. Different people have different constitutions. And just like the constitution of easy pregnancy, after giving birth to 2 or 3 offspring with spiritual roots, the probability of giving birth to offspring with spiritual roots will be greatly reduced. This is a law of nature. Of course, Lee Suna's fairies, spiritual roots are not very good at present. If it was a genius of 5th rank spiritual roots like Su Yun, maybe it would be different. Lee Su didn't know the details. After all, I haven't tried it yet. After reaching 40, a 100-year cultivation base is awarded again. From this point of view, the reward of cultivation base is estimated to have a breakthrough of 100 offspring of spiritual roots, or a breakthrough of 100,000 offspring of Lee Su before there is a qualitative change. At that time, it is just right, because after the gold core period, with Lee Su's spiritual roots level, the demand for cultivation base will be even greater. In addition, the rewarded 100-year cultivation base is not static. This is based on Lee Su's current cultivation base situation. In other words, the current 100-year cultivation base is more than before, because the current 100-year cultivation base is equivalent to Lee Su's cultivation in the realm of the peak of the foundation establishment. There is another problem that Lee Su has not figured out yet, and that is the problem of cultivation technique. There are still some differences when cultivating different cultivation techniques. With some top cultivation techniques, you will practice faster and the effect will be better. Different cultivation techniques, the effects of 100 years of cultivation are also very different. Of course, spiritual roots is too bad, and the top cultivation technique may not be able to practice even if you want to. However, the cultivation base rewarded by the system for Li Su does not involve any cultivation technique. I don't know what cultivation technique is based on. Li Su is currently not an option. I don't know if there will be any changes after the gold core period. Soon, Li Su Mingxian could feel that own Zhenyuan became more and more powerful. It is getting closer and closer to the completion of foundation establishment. The completion of foundation establishment is not a realm, but a critical point. After reaching the peak of the foundation establishment, the cultivators continue to strengthen their own true energy, and when the true energy accumulates to the point where there is no progress, the foundation establishment is complete. It is equivalent to a wooden bucket filled with water. At this time, you can hit the gold core period. Li Su feels that perhaps the reason for the poor spiritual roots is that he has higher requirements than others for the completion of foundation establishment. In addition, in the foundation establishment period, they can only live for a total of 200 years, and they need to rush to the gold core period within 200 years. But Li Su has obtained the cultivation base from the system for thousands of years from the beginning to the present. Although the spiritual roots itself is too bad, it also makes Li Su's foundation more stable to a certain extent. Li Su saw hope, and he didn't go anywhere for the next time. Focus on making people. From time to time, a fairy will also be accepted. In the area of the 3 great immortal gates, the situation is generally calm. Immortal cultivators are all immersed in cultivation in order to break through a higher realm. The world is always the most exciting. For immortal cultivators, it may take a few years or more than 10 years to retreat at a time. But in the secular world, for ordinary people, 10 years of experience is incomparably rich, enough to change a lifetime. How many more than 10 years are there in life? For most people, the best time in their life is only 10 years. After that time, life will return to peace, marriage, having children, and life day after day. Although there are different highlights in life every day, after a long time, it will always feel too dull. So, that's why so many people envy immortals. As everyone knows, the life of a fairy is actually much more boring than that of ordinary people. Practice takes up most of the time. Li Su may be an exception. After a few more years, finally, the population of the Li family broke through to 50,000. Consummated. On this day, Li Su stood up after absorbing the rewarded 100-year cultivation base. The ever-increasing population has given Li Su a large amount of cultivation base. With this 100-year cultivation base, Li Su's foundation establishment is finally complete. It has reached the critical point of impacting gold core. At this time, Li Su had a new question. I don't know if I should hit the gold core by myself, or just lie down and wait for the rewards from the system. There should be no need to attack by yourself. Li Su felt that he should not have to hit the gold core by himself. Of course, he can also attack by himself, but after lying all the way to the completion of the foundation establishment, Li Su is not going to hit the gold core by himself. After the immortal cultivator reaches the completion of the foundation establishment, it is not just a shock. The foundation establishment is successful, and it is possible that you will not be able to hit the gold core for a lifetime. Moreover, the success rate of impact, to some extent, is also related to spiritual roots. Therefore, Li Su decided to continue lying down. But before lying down, Li Su went to Feishenzong, and he was going to collect the jutting pill. By the way, I am going to ask the headmaster about his experience in hitting gold core. Although Li Su thinks he can lie down, what if he can't? Soon, Li Su came to Feishenzong. Do you want to receive the gathering pill? Yes, elder. Give me your disciple token. It is not complicated to receive Ju Ding pill. You can get it after reaching the peak of foundation establishment. Soon, Li Su got Ju Ding Dan. Is the master still in closed-door training? After receiving it, when Li Su went to find the master, he was told that the master was still in closed-door training. Brother, if there is something urgent, I can also report it. No need, don't bother the head. Li Su Li opened the back mountain. Su Yun also seems to be still in closed-door training. Li Su walked around Feishenzong, and finally found the elder of the Palace of Foreign Affairs, ready to ask about the golden core. Have you completed your foundation establishment? Elder's eyes almost popped out. Li Su's foundation establishment was at its peak more than 10 years ago, and it has only been more than 10 years since the foundation establishment has come to fruition. It is many times more difficult to reach the peak of foundation establishment than to reach the peak of foundation establishment from the first level of Qi refining. Li Su arrived so soon. Yes, Elder. Okay. Judging from this, my Fei Shenzong may soon add another gold core. Shui Elder laughed. Li Su then explained the purpose of coming. Which cultivation technique did you study? There are detailed pill recipes in cultivation technique, just follow it. Other people's experience may not be suitable for you. Gold core is divided into 9 grades. The higher the grade, the bigger the gold core, the more true energy it can hold, and the longer the life energy added at the beginning. The gold core level has a lot to do with the cultivation technique you cultivate. There are also some rare medicine pills that can also increase the gold core level. If the gold core level is not high, you don't have to worry about it. The cultivation base is the key. Put the cultivation base, put it up, it's still amazing. Shui Elder told Li Su a lot of golden core knowledge and some precautions. Li Su listened to him for more than 3 hours. Thank you, Shui Elder. Li Su arched his cupped hands. It's okay, Li Su, come on, I look forward to your early breakthrough gold core. Shui Elder laughed. Seeing that the master was still in closed-door training, Li Su Li opened Fei Shenzong. After returning home, there was another happy event. One of his newborns also has spiritual roots. You have obtained 1 year of cultivation base, and it is detected that your cultivation base cannot be increased temporarily, and it will be automatically converted into 1 point of cultivation energy. Chengdan energy is full of 100 points, which can consume Chengdan energy and condense gold core. Reminder. Chengdan energy helps to improve the gold core level. You can store more Chengdan energy and then condense gold core, up to 500 points. On the system panel, a prompt appears. Sure enough, just lie down. After seeing the prompt, Li Su was relieved. He doesn't need to hit the gold core by himself. After the foundation establishment is completed, his cultivation base can no longer be increased. Consummation means that it is already full, and the body is full of energy. At this time, the cultivation base rewarded by the system will automatically become cultivation energy. Only 100 points of cultivation energy are needed, which is equivalent to the 100-year cultivation base previously rewarded, and Li Su can break through gold core. 100-year cultivation base. If there is no system, then you have to cultivate yourself for 100 years. With a system, now that Li Su's family is so powerful, it really won't take long. And, Li Su can also accumulate more pill energy to make his own gold core higher. 500 points, that is, 500 years of cultivation base, let's save 500 points. Li Su has a decision. With a cap of 500 points, the condensed gold core should be the highest grade, right? Although his spiritual roots is poor, he has not entered the 8th rank yet. But the condensed gold core can get 1st rank from the very beginning. The worst spiritual roots condense the best gold core. The feeling of opening and hanging is really cool. Although the number of fairies recruited in the past 2 years has decreased, thanks to Li Su's hard work on the previous fairies, after the total number of descendants exceeded 500,000, only 1 year later, Li Su has descendants of spiritual roots quantity, just breakthrough again. Reached a full 50 descendants with spiritual roots, although the spiritual roots are not very good, but in the area of the 3 major immortal sects, there is no immortal cultivating family that can match. Li Su saw that Cheng Dan's energy had already reached more than 170 points. 50 descendants of spiritual roots, rewarded with 100 years of cultivation base, replaced with 100 points of cultivation energy. This year, the number of Li Su's descendants further increased, and he also accumulated dozens of points of Chengdan energy. According to this progress, the cultivation base growth that future generations bring to Li Su every year will become higher and higher. In other words, if Li Su is willing, he can break through gold core period at any time. Not urgent. At this time, Li Su is not in a hurry. Going on like this, even if there is no big head reward in the next few years, it will not take long to increase dozens of points every year to reach 500 points of alchemy energy. Seeing that he could break through gold core at any time, Li Su's mood became very good. Work harder every day. My divine sense should be much stronger than other foundation establishment cultivators. The 2 rewards are also good. In addition to the 100-year cultivation base, Li Su's descendants will be rewarded with 50,000 yuan, and the probability of spiritual roots will be increased by 0.1%. If you can keep improving like this, it's not bad. The reward for spiritual roots descendants reaching 50 is 100 years of cultivation base, plus optional rewards, but this time there are more optional rewards. That is divine sense. Generally, at the stage of gas refining, there will be divine sense, but the divine sense of the gas refining cultivator is too weak, and the divine sense in the early stage of gas refining cannot be separated from the body, and at the late stage, it can also detect the surrounding area of several meters. In the foundation establishment period, divine sense doubles, but it is not very strong. Generally, it is possible to detect the difference between several meters to tens of meters around, and the peak of foundation establishment is only a few hundred meters higher. Chi refining and foundation establishment are mainly to improve the cultivation base, and the enhancement of the divine sense is average, unless you specialize in cultivating the cultivation technique to improve the divine sense. But during the Chi refining and foundation establishment period, unless the spiritual roots are excellent, generally no one will specialize in cultivating the cultivation technique to improve the divine sense. With a limited lifespan, there is not always enough time to upgrade the cultivation base, and waste time to upgrade the divine sense. If the cultivation base cannot be improved, a foundation establishment cultivator, no matter how strong the divine sense can be. This time, when the offspring of spiritual roots reached 50, an option was given, which is the 100-year divine sense cultivation base. Seeing that it was the first time, and it was the full 50 node, Li Su was worried that there would be no more, so he chose it. After choosing, Li Su's divine sense is much stronger. Divine sense cultivation base, to a certain extent, is not particularly affected by spiritual roots, but is more affected by other aspects, such as physique, cultivation technique, and understanding. Therefore, Li Su's divine sense is quite strong now. Cultivation base has no breakthrough gold core period yet, but divine sense is already comparable to the gold core period. Brother, on this day, a familiar person came to Li's residence. It's Su Yun. She's finally out. Considering Su Yun's age, this time of closed-door training is a bit long. Before closed-door training, she was only in her 30s. But now she is almost 50 years old. However, Su Yun still looks young and beautiful, still in her early 20s. Even a little girlish. She should have used Zuyan Dan or something like that, plus her own strength is growing fast and aging is slow, which is why her body is in such a good condition. She doesn't look young. But for real, physical condition, skin elasticity, energy, all aspects will crush an 18-year-old girl. When Su Yun saw Li Su, she felt extremely happy subconsciously. Her eyes were shining brightly, full of joy. She and Li Su haven't seen each other for more than 10 years. Her strength has improved again. She used to be on the 4th floor of Foundation Establishment, but now she is on the 6th floor of Foundation Establishment, raising 2 floors at once. 5th rank spiritual roots, really powerful. She doesn't use the Devil Cultivator method like Bai's Cultivator. Devil Cultivators generally have poorer spiritual roots, and they will not be able to Foundation Establishment in normal practice for a lifetime, so they will do anything to cultivate. If spiritual roots is very powerful and he can cultivate very quickly, why should he be the Devil Cultivator that everyone shouts and beats? Isn't it good to be clean and upright in cultivation? Brother, I heard that you have successfully completed the Foundation Establishment? Su Yun asks. Li Su nodded. Yes. Wow, congratulations. Su Yun became happy for Li Su. Immediately, she said what she wanted to do. Senior brother, is the stone slab surnamed Cultivator still in your hand? With a movement of Li Su's hand, he took it out. Li Su also studied this slate for a while, but couldn't decipher the words on it, so he kept it here. Including the token, Li Su also kept it still. Brother, Bai finally spoke up, and things are still a little troublesome. Su Yun said, has the cultivator surnamed Bai spoken? After Li Su handed over the cultivator with the surname Bai, he didn't take care of it anymore. Li Su thought the head had killed this guy. From this point of view, the master didn't kill him, but closed it all the time, probably because he wanted to dig deeper. What's wrong? You have to go back to the sect, and the master will tell you in person. The master happens to be looking for you. Okay, a few hours later, Li Su saw the master again. The boss looked much stronger. I didn't expect you to complete the Foundation Establishment so soon. Generally, there is no bottleneck in the days of spiritual roots and golden core. With this bottleneck, many people have a card for a lifetime. You must not be proud. The head was first happy for Li Su. His eyes were full of admiration. Immediately, she talked about the difficulty again. Heaven spiritual roots golden core no bottleneck? Heaven spiritual roots. It should be the spiritual roots of first and second rank. That's too little. In the area of the 3 great fairy gates, I have never heard of it. Let's talk about the devil cultivator first. Did you bring that slate? The boss got down to business. Li Su took out the slate. The headmaster stretched out his hand and moved the slate into his hand. Master, is there a devil cultivator? Li Su asks. The leader nodded. Well, yes, the one named Bai accepted a devil cultivator inheritance, and the devil cultivator passed on to him is probably not dead, that it is trapped, so I want to use the one named Bai to get out of trouble. Good guy. So devil cultivator isn't dead? Isn't this a big guy bigger than cultivator surnamed Bai? What about the token? The master acts again. Li Su simply took out all of them. The head took over. Holy Alliance, the master whispered. Master, what is the Holy League? Li Su acts. The Holy League is an integrated union of many magic sects. I didn't expect to see the token of the Holy League here. From this point of view, the trapped devil cultivator is a disciple of the Holy League. His plan is to let the surnamed Bai go to gold after the core period, go to the members of the Holy League to help him out of trouble. Master said. Good guy. Magic Door United Integrated Union. An integrated union of Magic Gate, but calls itself Holy. I don't know where these magic doors are. Moreover, after Bai's cultivator reaches the gold core stage, it seems that there is no way to get this guy out of trouble. I don't know how strong this guy is. I'm going there to check the situation. Li Su, you and Su Yun can go with me. The head said again. The boundless black miasma filled the sky and covered the sky. Here is the Blackwood Forest, forbidden place for mortals. It is no exaggeration to say that Wu Guo sent all his troops into the Blackwood Forest, as many as they came, as many as they died. Even for immortal cultivators, if they entered the early stage of qi refining, they would have a narrow escape. In qi refining, the late stage can only be active in the periphery. What can bring danger here is not only demonic beasts, but also all kinds of poisons that are hard to guard against. The demonic beasts here are also more evil than other demonic beasts. On the flying boat at this time, besides the head, there are him and Su Yun. And the cultivator named Bai who was tied up. The head didn't send out the flying ferry boat, it was just an ordinary flying boat. The 3 of them drove lightly and went all the way to the Blackwood Forest. According to Cultivator Bai, Blackwood Forest is the place where Devil Cultivator was trapped. The current appearance of the Blackwood Forest is also related to the Devil Cultivator. This guy's strength is probably very strong. The head speculates that its original strength may be higher than Nascent Soul, but the other party has been trapped for so many years and seems to be injured, so it is unknown how much strength is left. The flying boat broke into the Blackwood Forest directly. A place that is extremely dangerous to ordinary cultivators is completely possible for the master to break into. After entering, they encountered an attack. A bird, demonic beasts, rushed over and was dealt with by Su Yun. The flying boat continued to fly inside. As the airship advances, the demonic beasts or poisons that come out to attack from time to time become stronger. The head of the sect seldom makes a move, basically Su Yun. She has the strength of the 6th level of Foundation establishment, and the demonic beasts or poisons of the 2nd order middle stage are not her opponents. Even if it is the demonic beasts or poison of the 2nd order late stage, she can block it. Li Su also makes shots occasionally. His current attack skills are not too many, but the cultivation base is here, with magical item, 2nd order late stage demonic beasts or poison, one will die one by one. After going deep into the Blackwood Forest for tens of minutes, the airship has flown hundreds of miles, and the number of powerful demonic beasts has gradually increased. Some demonic beasts attacked frequently because the flying boats were too aggressive. Li Su also took more shots. From here, you can enter. After entering, follow the map I gave you to arrive. I hope you will keep your promise and let me survive after abolishing my cultivation base. More than an hour later, in a hidden cave below an unremarkable mountain, the voice of a cultivator named Bai rang out. It's not easy for this guy to speak. It has been more than 10 years since this guy was caught before this guy spoke. As for methods such as soul searching, Fei Shenzong doesn't know if they have them. From the current point of view, it is possible not to. After all, Duan Yi's hand is quite evil. Searching for other people's souls will do a lot of harm. Not every immortal cultivator can search for other people's souls. It's also possible that it can't be used on this cultivator named Bai. As a devil cultivator, this guy might disappear when he searches for his soul. With a flick of the head's finger, the cultivator surnamed Bai passed out. Li Su, bring him up, let's go in. Su Yun, you meet him in the cave. Yes, master. This cave is unremarkable, and Bai's cultivator didn't do anything to hide it. That's a smart move. This place is so common, no one would think that there is a devil cultivator trapped below. After hiding it, if a stronger immortal cultivator passes by and finds something abnormal, then there will be no silver 300 taels here. There is a map in the master's hand. Although it is dark below, it is naturally impossible to hinder her in the slightest. Gold Core Late Stage Cultivator, even without cultivating the cultivation technique to improve Divine Sense can easily detect a range of more than 100 miles around. And if you practice the cultivation technique that enhances Divine Sense, or take the medicine pill that enhances Divine Sense, there will only be more. Divine Sense is still very important to the Gold Core Stage Cultivator, so the Gold Core Stage Cultivator will generally try to enhance Divine Sense. The headmaster went down without saying a word, and Li Su followed behind with the unconscious Bai surnamed cultivator. He is tall, and the cultivator is like a chicken in his hand. The road below is a bit tortuous. After more than an hour, the master stopped. Ahead, a cave appeared. There is also an underground river next to it. Inside the cave, there seems to be nothing. With a flick of the head's finger, she threw a stone into it. Whoosh! A quaint long sword appeared and smashed the stone instantly. The headmaster popped up different things again, but they were all smashed by the long sword. Formation. Li Su thought. Moreover, it is an extremely powerful killing formation. So, is Devil Cultivator trapped in this killing array? Being able to trap such a powerful Devil Cultivator, this killing array, is a bit powerful. Among the things that the headmaster just popped out, there are some very hard refining materials, but in front of the simple long sword, it is like tofu that will shatter when touched. Li Su, wake him up, master said. Li Su woke up the cultivator surnamed Bai. He was trapped inside, and he could only communicate with the slate. The killing array was too powerful. He blocked the sword with the holy decree, and he paid a lot of money to give me a few things. The cultivator named Bai said. The few things he said were the holy order, the black flag, and the thunder fire orb he used. As for the slate, it was sent out by that guy before he was trapped. Its material is special and can be used for communication. The book surnamed Cultivator Bai recorded all kinds of evil pill refining techniques, which was passed down by Devil Cultivator through the slate, and this guy wrote it down by himself. The head of the sect threw the slate to Cultivator Bai. After Cultivator Bai took it, he bit his finger and dripped blood on it. No wonder, Li Su felt that there was a faint smell of blood on the stone slab. The blood continued to flow, and soon, the blood filled the words on the slate. I need to use a little spirit power, the cultivator named Bai said. The master loosened him a bit, allowing him to tap into some spirit power. The cultivator surnamed Bai activated the spirit power, and began to move the strokes of those characters. No, those strokes are actually lines that can be bent and combined automatically. Soon, new bloody words were assembled, so that's how it is. Li Su knew why he didn't recognize the characters. After the cultivator Bai used up the slate, he must have messed it up on purpose. The previous ones were not characters at all, so he couldn't recognize them. Tell him that you have reached the gold core period, and ask what to do next. Master said. The cultivator surnamed Bai combined the words, and Li Su saw that this guy is not playing tricks now. After the combination was made, as soon as the cultivator spirit power surnamed Bai was collected, the words dimmed. After a while, the lines of those words moved and recombined to form a sentence. I'll give you the map, go east, go to the Holy League to find Blood Venerable, don't trust any Sahabis. A minute after the sentence was formed, the lines moved again and began to form a map. Look at it this way, the world of Devil Cultivator is cruel. Through this sentence, Li Su has a guess. No wonder, the trapped Devil Cultivator wants to let the cultivator named Bai reach the Gold Core stage before going to the Holy League. It is estimated that before the Gold Core period, this guy went to the area of the Holy League, and before he found anyone, he was probably killed by another Devil Cultivator. This Devil Cultivator sent out the Holy Order, on the one hand, to block the sword. Without the Holy Order, other things cannot be sent out, and on the other hand, it also gave the cultivator surnamed Bai an identity certificate. As for the black flag and thunder fire orb that allowed the Bai cultivator to block the flying fairy talisman during the Foundation establishment period, they were also for the Bai cultivator's self-defense. This is enough to show that the world of Devil Cultivator is not generally cruel. Devil Cultivator not only kills cultivators, even Devil Cultivator also kills. After a while, the map was formed. Li Su compared the map and quickly drew it down. This map is too big, and there are not many places that Li Su can recognize. The good news is that from the map, the area of the Holy League is still far away from here. I don't know how this Devil Cultivator got here. Should have been hunted down, Li Su thought. This killing formation, maybe it was set up by the people who chased him down. This killing formation can trap a Devil Cultivator who may have been in the nascent soul stage in the past, which is a bit powerful. With Li Su's current formation experience, he still can't see the slightest clue. Li Su estimates that several hundred years or more of formation experience will be needed. If you can learn this killing array, it will be great. The next few times with 100 years of experience, I will choose the formation experience. Li Su thought, how do I get back to him? The cultivator surnamed Bai asks. The master stared at the killing formation in front of him for a long time. This killing array is invisible, and it should also have a hidden function, and the Devil Cultivator inside cannot be seen at all. But it's dangerous if you step into that area. This killing formation not only prevents the people inside from coming out, but also prevents anyone from entering this area. Say, yes, Master said. The cultivator named Bai followed suit. I'll let you go after I get out. This slate can be used as long as you drop blood? The Master asks again. Yes, a drop of blood is fine, but it can't be too far away from here. The cultivator named Bai said. Hearing this, the head of the sect called Shi Ban back. Li Su, let's go. Then, the headmaster turned and left. It seemed that after coming to understand the situation in person, the head of the sect was not prepared to act rashly. One is that the strength of the Devil Cultivator in the killing formation is unknown. What if the other party has strength above nascent soul? The second is this killing formation. For her, there is probably no solution. Even if he wants to do something, the head of the sect will probably unite with the other two immortal sects. Therefore, Li Su didn't talk nonsense, and left after mentioning Bai's surname Cultivator. Not long after, the two returned to the cave, and Su Yun was still guarding here. Let's go. The master flew onto the flying boat. It seemed that the head didn't plan to arrange anything here. No layout is required. That underground cave is too difficult to find. The cultivator named Bai was chased and killed by the powerful demonic beasts all the way, and fled here. For so many years, he was the only one who stumbled into that cave by mistake, so it is also understandable why the Devil Cultivator gave him so many things. The Devil Cultivator was probably desperate inside, and finally a person came, so naturally he had to catch him. It also happened to be a cultivator with the surname of Bai, and if he was replaced by Li Su, even when his strength was weak, he would only find ways to cheat this guy, and then accumulate strength to deal with him. Let's go, junior sister. Oh, the three returned to the flying boat again. The flying boat rushed outside, and after flying out for about half an hour, with the movement of the master's hand, a force attacked the cultivator surnamed Bai. The cultivator surnamed Bai's complexion changed, and he screamed. His cultivation base is disabled. I promised you, and you cooperated very well. Now, you can go. The master said calmly. The expression of cultivator Bai surnamed changed. How does this make him go? The demonic beasts below this area are extremely dense, and the late stages of chi refining will surely die if they enter. After he was abolished from cultivation base, he was just an ordinary person. Fei Shen. He looked angry and was about to speak, but Li Su shot and sealed his mouth. Then, Li Su lifted him up and threw him down. Well, he also kindly supported this guy and sent it to the ground, next to a poisonous insect nest, so that this guy would not fall to his death. This is also letting this guy go, still so caring. The expression of cultivator Bai surnamed completely changed. Soon, his screams rang out, and after a while, the guy quieted down again. With the number of those poisonous insects, this guy must have no bones left. The flying boat continued to go out. Doesn't the leader seem to be flexible? This deal suits Li Su's taste. Li Su looked at the master standing in front of Feijo, who had a slender and charming figure. And from the back, the figure of the leader is very good. Let Li Su think of a word. What is a good birth? How wonderful it would be to give birth to a baby for him. Su Yun looked at the master, then at Li Su, and suddenly felt that Li Su was more suitable than her to be the disciple of the master. She actually is not going to feel that there is anything wrong with this treatment. On the contrary, I feel relieved, not only relieved, but also not breaking my promise. Immortal cultivators should try not to break their promises, and do what they say, so that they can better strengthen their confidence. He is a double-faced person who runs the train with his mouth full of words. How can he be firm in Dao heart when he is practicing? Li Su, how about I betroth Su Yun to you? At this time, the head of the sect suddenly spoke, and even Li Su was taken aback by what he said. In fact, this sentence came too suddenly. Su Yun's face turned red. Shua. Yunar was brought up by me since I was a child. She already has a lot of affection for you. Instead of letting this affection affect your cultivation, it is better for you to form a companion and practice together. Master said. Forehead. Li Su glanced at Su Yun, whose face was already red to the ears. Although it was very unexpected, he understood the meaning of the master almost instantly. Head, I still want to help him cut off the fate. Immortal cultivators cannot have Dao companions. After two people develop feelings, they form a Dao companion, practice together, support each other, and progress is not necessarily slow. But if there are too many Dao companions, like Li Su, it will be affected. What I'm talking about here is that others like Li Su will influence. Unless you use some evil methods, such as taking supplements. But in that case, the woman will be very miserable. Although Li Su has many concubines, the women are all radiant, so naturally it is not a way to make up for it. In addition, there are also some evil methods, such as Hawan. But that method will basically not produce offspring, so no one thinks about Li Su in that direction. The descendants of Li Su can form a division. That's why, although Li Su has many concubines, the cultivators never feel that Li Su is doing crooked ways. Like the leader, he just thinks that Li Su is a longing for the world of mortals. As for your Li family, if you want, I can let the Li family replace the royal family, and you don't have to worry about your offspring. The head said again. Sure enough. The master's idea should be to use Su Yun, who is as beautiful as celestial immortals and very talented, to make Li Su forget about the women in the world. In this way, Li Su can concentrate on his cultivation. Su Yun does have this qualification. She is not only beautiful, but also such a genius. Among the immortal cultivators in the three major immortal gates, who would not want to form a companion with her? At the same time, the head was afraid that Li Su would miss the Li family, so he asked the Li family to replace the Wu Kingdom royal family and gave the Li family a good arrangement. It can be said, in order to let Li Su cultivate like a serious immortal cultivator, the head of the sect also broke his heart. After the master spoke, his gaze fell on Li Su. Her gaze didn't exert much pressure, obviously giving Li Su the choice. On the side, Su Yun's face was flushed. She was too ashamed to even look at Li Su. My heart was also beating. Bang bang. The headmaster didn't seem to discuss it with her, but the headmaster has already seen the affection for Li Su in her heart. In addition, Su Yun was brought up by the head of the sect since she was a child, and the head of the sect is equivalent to Su Yun's parents. If Li Su agrees, this matter will be settled like this. At this time, Su Yun was shy and nervous, but she wanted to hear Li Su's answer. Li Su hasn't answered yet. It's hard not to like Su Yun, a beautiful and well-behaved little junior sister. Even if there is no gold finger factor, Li Su is still willing to marry her. What's more, she has 5th rank spiritual roots. If you give birth to a baby for yourself, the offspring spiritual roots must not be bad. The benefit to Li Su spiritual roots is also greater. There are descendants of spiritual roots. The better the spiritual roots, the greater the increase to Li Su spiritual roots. At present, it is only the pursuit of quantity. There are now 50 descendants with spiritual roots, but Li Su's spiritual roots still cannot enter the 8th rank. The promotion of spiritual roots is extremely difficult. In the area of the 3 great immortal gates, you can't find any medicine pill or medicinal herbs that enhance spiritual roots. Maybe a real immortal has some means, but the range of improvement is also very limited. Of course, the main reason is that these 50 offspring with spiritual roots is too bad. The 2 strongest ones are only at the 8th rank, and there are a large number of descendants. None of the spiritual roots has entered the rank. However, no matter how willing, no matter how many benefits, agreeing to the head now is equivalent to agreeing with the head's arrangement. The head seems to hope that Li Su will return to Feishenzong to practice hard so that he can have a better breakthrough gold core period. Only spiritual roots doesn't have a golden core bottleneck. The worse the spiritual roots, the more terrifying the golden core bottleneck tends to be. Although Li Su has reached the consummation of the foundation establishment so soon, The current head is more worried about Li Su. That's why she made this suggestion, but if Li Su cultivated like a decent cultivator, it would be useless instead. But right now, let's just reject the head of the sect. One is that he really has good intentions, and the other is that will it hurt Su Yun's heart? So, after thinking about it for more than a minute, Li Su finally spoke. Master, I am willing to marry junior sister Su Yun. Li Su said. After his voice fell, he saw a smile blooming on the head's face. The boss smiled. It's so pretty when you smile. In fact, I would rather marry you. Li Su added something in his heart. This sentence, of course, cannot be said now. On the side, Su Yun's face turned red up to her neck. She was even more ashamed. He also lowered his head even lower, not daring to look at Li Su at all. But, inexplicably, my heart was not so disturbed, and there was even a trace of joy, but now the shame took over the main body. Although she is over 40 years old, she spends most of her time practicing. There is no time for cultivating immortals. She not only has a girlish body, but also a girlish heart. However, Master, my way of cultivation is quite special. If I am bound in one place, it will be detrimental to my cultivation. Please rest assured, Master. I am practicing in an upright manner, and I will not come into contact with any evil ways. Li Su immediately took another twist. Although the boss had a nice smile, he wanted to watch it a little longer, but he had to save these words. Sure enough, the smile on the head's face slowly disappeared again. So, what do you mean? Asked the master. Li Su looked at her. Master, how about we make a bet? Bet? What bet? Just bet on me for the breakthrough gold core period within 5 years. Within 5 years, the breakthrough gold core period. Su Yun couldn't help but raised her head and looked at Li Su. The head of the sect frowned, but there was a hint of interest in his eyes. How do you want to bet? She asks. If I win, I will marry junior sister Su Yun, but master please allow me to cultivate in my own way. As for junior sister Su Yun, I will not force her to stay by my side. She is still practicing in Feishenzong. If I lose, I will marry junior sister Su Yun and return to Feishenzong to practice. Li Su said the bet in one breath. Well, no matter if you win or lose this bet, you will marry Su Yun. Su Yun is a genius of 5th rank spiritual roots. Even if she is married, Li Su naturally does not plan to keep her in the Li residence. That would be bad for her. It's better for her to practice in Feishenzong. Unlike Li Suna's other nuns, Su Yun is fully sure of the breakthrough gold core period. It is also able to accompany Li Su for a long time. Therefore, Li Su naturally wouldn't delay her, but before that, Li Su will also ask for her opinion. Let her have a baby for herself or something. Can't delay anything. Su Yun's face turned red to the ears again. But there was joy in his heart. Senior brother Li seemed to like her. No matter if he won or lost, he insisted on marrying her. The headmaster's gaze flicked across Su Yun's face. Whether you win or lose, you have to marry a younger sister. Li Su's bet seemed to amuse her. Okay, I'll bet you. The flying boat traveled all the way, and soon flew back to Feishenzong. Li Su, please don't reveal the matter about the underground devil cultivator to avoid causing panic. The master looked at Li Su and said, Yes, master. Li Su said, You hold this shocking rainbow pill, it will help improve the gold core level. The headmaster stretched out her hand, and a medicine pill appeared in her hand. The medicine pill came towards Li Su Fei. Thank you, master. Actually Li Su doesn't need it, but if he doesn't, it would be abnormal. The gold core grade has a lot to do with spiritual roots, talent, and cultivation technique. But there are some medicine pills that can enhance it a bit. This kind of medicine pill is more precious. Not only is the refining method very rare, but also medicinal herbs are difficult to collect. Unexpectedly, there is such a medicine pill in the hands of the master. Li Su doesn't need the shocking rainbow pellet by herself. Let her use it when Su Yun gets the golden core later. Brother, come on. Outside the mountain gate of Feishenzong, Su Yun's voice sounded. After finishing speaking, Su Yun's face turned red again. How did she say come on? But according to the bet between Li Su and the boss, Li Su will marry her no matter whether he wins or loses. Thinking of this, Su Yun's heart pounded, but she still sent Li Su out of the mountain gate. Junior sister, wait for me to marry you. She was already so shy, but Li Su's words made her even more shy in an instant. Seeing Su Yun who was blushing with shame, Li Su laughed and left Feishenzong in a flying boat. The 5-year period of this bet is no problem in Li Su's view. At present, more than 70 years of cultivation base can be obtained from the growth of future generations in 1 year, that is, more than 70 points of Chengdan energy. In 5 years, 370 points. Now there are more than 170 points, which is enough to add up. In fact, if Li Su didn't want to condense a better gold core, he would be able to break through the gold core now and show it to the leader. Although the elder of the Foreign Affairs Hall said that cultivation base is more important, and the grade of gold core is not mandatory, but this sentence can be understood as words of comfort. Who doesn't want to own a higher starting point? Li Su traveled for so long, without good spiritual roots, he forcibly survived for 80 years before becoming a 100-years-old foundation establishment. Although there is gold finger, it was quite difficult at the beginning. Step by step, he established the Li family, grew the cultivation base, and increased his reputation. That is 80 years, it has been the magnificent life of many people. But that is also impossible. He started low, but the starting point of spiritual roots is low, and now there is an opportunity to make the starting point of gold core very high from the beginning. Why doesn't Li Su do it? So what if spiritual roots is bad? He still condenses first-rank gold core. Therefore, even if he can break through gold core at any time, Li Su is not in a hurry. For this 5-year bet, Li Su went to the Road Cultivators Rally within a few days after returning to the Li Mansion. So, in the next year, Li Su continued to have happy events again. Li Su has recently stopped taking ordinary women as concubines. After all, fairies are no longer enough. Of course, in the areas of the 3 major fairy gates, the number of female cultivators who meet the standard of beauty and want to marry is limited after all. In recent years, the nuns in the other 2 secular countries have been accepted by Li Su a lot. If this continues, the fairy will indeed be accepted. The population of the Li family is also growing. Li Su is still holding a conservative attitude towards the replacement of the royal family that the head said. He really despised a secular throne. Of course, it will be very easy for the Li family to develop further in the future and control a secular country, so it doesn't matter. Now, don't look for too many things for yourself. It is more complicated to control a country. In case something happens to the descendants, Li Su has to end it. In Li Su's view, it is a waste of his time. Soon, the first year passed. This year, Li Su's alchemy energy increased by 80 points. Maybe it's luck, or maybe Li Suna has a lot of nuns, and there are descendants of spiritual roots, and this year increased by 3. One of them was born of his offspring. In the second year, there were descendants of spiritual roots, and 4 more, mainly born to his newly recruited nuns. The energy of Cheng Dan has increased by more than 80 points. In the third year, the number of descendants with spiritual roots only increased by 2, but it was very close to making up 10 integers, only 1 away. If this continues, the descendants of spiritual roots will be the first to break through 60. It's not difficult at all. Li Su smiled. If this goes on, next year there will only be 1 more descendant of spiritual roots, and after the number break through 60, he will be able to get a 100-year cultivation base reward. Then directly reach 500 points of alchemy energy. Winning this bet with the head is not difficult at all. Even, this is bullying the head. Soon, the 4th year after the bet with the head arrived. The harvest in the 4th year actually depends on the hard work in the 3rd year. After all, even a fairy needs October to conceive. It is said that some children with amazingly good spiritual roots will have some abnormalities when they are in the womb, and even need to stay in the womb for a longer time. For example, Su Yun was born at 11 months old. At the beginning of this year, Li Su made an exception and accepted a mortal woman. He has very few Nafan women now, but if the opponent is particularly good, Li Su will make an exception. Being exceptional doesn't just mean being exceptionally beautiful. Of course, appearance is a mandatory requirement. In the system requirements, Li Suna's concubine's appearance is less than 8 points, and there is no reward for having more offspring. And the requirements of the system are relatively high. In the eyes of others, a score of 8 in the system may be a beauty with a score of 9 or above. Especially excellent also refers to a woman who is particularly intelligent, or caring. This time, what Li Su accepted was Lu Wanyue, who has been known as the most beautiful woman in Wu Kingdom for the past 10 years. This kind of woman, because she is too outstanding, is missed by many people. There will even be some rogue cultivators to keep in mind. She grew up listening to Li Su's stories since she was a child. After meeting Li Su at the age of 13 or 14, she could never forget it. So she composed a song for Li Su, called Hua Jian Yuan, which described the scene and mood when she first met Li Su. This song was made very brilliantly and was widely circulated. After Li Su heard about it, he met her and found that Lu Wanyue really liked him, so he took her as a concubine. There is no spiritual roots without spiritual roots. Just like it, Li Su has a bottom line, but he will not completely restrain himself to death. Lu Wanyue soon became pregnant too. After another 3 months, finally, a female cultivation base Li Su gave birth to an offspring with spiritual roots. There are descendants of spiritual roots, turning 60. Li Su saw that after 100 years of cultivation base rewards, Li Su's alchemy energy has successfully reached 500 points. Waste some. Li Su thought. 500 points are capped, and there are still more than 10 years. Cultivation base seems to have disappeared. I don't know if it will be returned to him after the breakthrough gold core. After reaching 500 points, you can break through gold core. Li Su didn't rush to breakthrough, he chose the reward first. This time the spiritual roots offspring received a breakthrough 60 reward. Li Su chose the formation experience according to the previous decision. First pile up the formation experience and see if you can learn or even crack the killing array. That killing array is very powerful, and it can trap a devil cultivator above nascent soul for so many years, and its value is still very high. Formation experience is the basic experience. Basic experience does not mean low-level experience. Basic and low-level are two different things. Basic experience can be understood as universal experience. That is, it applies to all formations, but does not involve two specific formations. The more experience in formation, the deeper Li Su's attainments in formation, and the easier it is to crack when encountering advanced formations. In addition, Li Su can figure out some formations by himself after his formation experience has increased. Of course, for some powerful formations, it took an unknown number of years for everyone to research them. Li Su's own research probably takes a lot of time. With the help of formation experience, it is super easy to learn what is ready-made. Now, he has 200 years of formation experience, 200 years of pill refining experience, and 100 years of refining experience. According to the current trend, in the process from the Li Su Gold Core period to the Nascent Soul period, these 3 experiences of his may be able to break through 1,000 years. 1,000 years of experience in formation, pill refining, and refining. At that time, he can also be regarded as a master of array Dao, alchemy, and Qi Dao. As for the divine sense enhancement rewards, it seems that some special nodes will appear. When the offspring with spiritual roots reached 60, they did not appear. After receiving the reward, Li Su Mu bathed and changed. He put on new clothes that many concubines sewed for him together. Then, Li Su came to the main hall of the Li family. He's going to break through gold core here. Your alchemy energy has reached 500 points, is it a gold core? On the system panel, the prompt is always there. Li Su has no choice yet, he just needs to choose a yes, and that's it. So, Li Su chose yes, with Li Su's choice. Here comes the change. These alchemy energies were not in his body before, but stored in the system. Now, Chengdan energy began to enter Li Su's body crazily. 500 points of alchemy energy represent a full 500 years of cultivation base. This is equivalent to a cultivator whose spiritual roots are infinitely close to the 8th rank, who has practiced for a full 500 years. Theoretically speaking, even with the 8th rank spiritual roots, the probability of a breakthrough gold core is pitifully small. Not to say that there is absolutely no, if the other party has the best training, the best cultivation technique, and unlimited medicine pill, it is still possible. But that's so rare. Therefore, the 8th grade spiritual roots, there is no way to practice for 500 years. Now, these energies have all turned into Li Su's alchemy energy. It can be seen that with the entry of Chengdan energy, the true essence in Li Su's body began to stir, and the true essence was continuously concentrated and became more pure. Chengdan energy should be the process of directly helping Li Su complete others' impact on gold core. There is no risk at all, and at the same time, it can make Li Su's gold core higher. After this process lasted for an hour, a gold core was formed at Li Su's Dantian. But Chengdan's energy is still pouring in continuously. The size of the gold core is also constantly increasing, getting bigger and bigger. Finally, the 500 points of Chengdan energy were exhausted, and Li Su's gold core was fully formed. Li Su let out a long whistle. At the same time, in the entire Li mansion and the surrounding areas, even ordinary people sensed a terrifying power, which made people palpitate. In Li's residence, there was a beam of light rising into the sky. This is the glow of the gold core when it was just formed. It is similar to the glow of the pill refining when it comes out of the oven, but it is even more amazing. These two pills are not the same. Gold core, done. Husband's breakthrough gold core is due. At this time, outside the main hall of the Li family, Li Sus concubines were all there. The mortal concubines haven't seen the name yet, but the female nuns all saw it. Li Su must be in the breakthrough gold core period. Otherwise, how could there be such a big movement? Although they are only in the chi refining stage, the gap between them and the gold core stage is very different. They have never even seen a cultivator in the gold core stage, and they have no idea what the gold core stage is like. But they can still guess the change of Li Su. Is your husband on the breakthrough gold core period? Li Sus concubines all showed joy. After they married Li Su, all of them have become Li Sus little fans. Li Sus charm is too much for them. In their eyes, there is only Li Su. No other man is even the slightest bit attractive to them. Now, my husband is actually on the breakthrough gold core period. Ordinary people in the world don't really know much about the realm of immortals. Many ordinary people only know that immortals are immortals, and immortals are also divided into different classes. For example, Li Su is a more powerful immortal than many immortals. There are also ordinary people who may have heard about the Chi Refining Foundation establishment, and know that the Foundation establishment cultivator is more powerful than the Chi Refining immortal. But I don't know the specific meaning of it. However, Li Sus concubines have been with Li Su for a long time, and Li Su has recruited dozens of nuns. Even mortal concubines, under the influence of their ears and eyes, know the realm and status of some immortal cultivators. Gold core stage cultivators are rare in the area of the three great immortal gates. Even among the three great immortal sects, there are only single digits. In the eyes of mortals, it is already comparable to a shocking power. Turning hands into clouds, a hand can destroy a country. Now, my husband has become such a power. The many concubines of Li Su are naturally not to mention how happy they are. Everyone is sincerely happy for Li Su. At this time, in the Great Hall, after Li Su's breakthrough gold core period, he is not in a hurry to go out and needs to consolidate. According to what Shui Elder said, the 9th rank gold core is only the size of a marble used in checkers, and the 8th rank gold core is a little bigger. My gold core, which is bigger than a goose egg, should be the 1st rank gold core bar. Li Sus gold core is really big, all the size of a goose egg. I talked with Shui Elder for several hours. Basically Shui Elder was talking. As Shui Elder said, when he broke through the gold core just now, if it was a grade 9 gold core, it would only be the size of a checkers marble. Don't think it's small, just such a small 9th grade gold core is what countless immortals dream of but can't get. Shui Elder naturally doesn't know checkers. Li Su estimated it based on his description. This is just a breakthrough gold core. It is equivalent to the completion of the Foundation establishment. The cultivator has condensed the true energy of the whole body into this gold core, and the energy inside is also extremely pure. Continuously improve the cultivation base during the gold core period. The gold core will naturally become bigger and bigger, and the energy inside will become more and more pure. That's why Shui Elder comforted Li Su and said that it doesn't matter if the gold core is low, and the cultivation base is the key. Well, it's just consolation after all, because in Shui Elder's view, Li Su's gold core grade is probably not high. But now, Li Su has just condensed the gold core, and the gold core is even bigger than a goose egg. This big drop is because goose eggs are elliptical, while gold core is purely round. No, very pure spherical shape. Such a large gold core must be the 1st rank gold core. The worst spiritual roots finally yielded the best gold core. Li Su is full of joy. System, isn't there any reward for this? Li Su scanned the system panel. Well, no reward. Who made this system called More Sons and More Blessings? Li Su himself broke through realm, and there is no reward. It depends on whether there will be other rewards for every 10,000 descendants after the breakthrough gold core, or some important nodes, such as when the number of descendants exceeds 100,000. Husband, congratulations, husband, for the breakthrough gold core period. After Li Su walked out of the Great Hall, his concubines all cheered. Li Su's descendants also came one after another, and they were all happier than Li Su. My ancestor has actually become the legendary gold core power. In the eyes of these descendants, Li Su, the ancestor of the Li family, is also worshipped more and more. All of a sudden, All kinds of excited congratulations from the descendants can be heard endlessly. This excitement lasted for a full day before it ended. Nanming, in 3 months' time, hold a banquet to invite people from all over the world to attend the celebration, and send out invitations. This time the banquet will be on a larger scale, so prepare early. Li Su said to his able children. This time during the breakthrough gold core period, Li Su naturally didn't plan to hide it. Instead, spread the invitation. The reason why it was set for 3 months was also because Li Su was going to marry Su Yun, a lovely little junior sister, together. Yes, father, after the matter is attached, Li Su doesn't have to worry about it. Li Su talked to Ning Xiaoyu again and asked her to send invitations to some rogue cultivators and Shuxian families. After making arrangements, Li Su left the Li family and went to Feishenzong. Now, he has reached the gold core period. I have to go back to see the boss. I don't know, the leader knows what Li Su's expression will be when he reaches the gold core stage so soon. Soon, Li Su entered Feishenzong, Brother Li. In Feishenzong, the disciples on duty came over to greet him one after another. Hey, Senior Brother Li, your aura. This time, the person guarding the mountain gate is still a disciple of the Foundation establishment late stage. 4 years ago, when Li Suli opened Feishenzong, he also met him. This Foundation establishment late stage disciple immediately noticed the change in Li Su's aura. Not only the breath, but also the spiritual pressure, has also undergone earth-shaking changes. Gold core and Foundation establishment, even if the Foundation establishment period is completed, the breath and spiritual pressure are completely incomparable with gold core. That was a qualitative change. Li Su didn't deliberately release the spiritual pressure, and of course, he didn't deliberately restrain it, so this disciple of the Foundation establishment late stage felt a sense of oppression coming from the surface. Give him a feeling as if looking up at a mountain. Brother Li, could it be a breakthrough gold core? An astonishing idea popped up in his mind. Around, other disciples in the Qi refining period also noticed the change in Li Su, and they were all a little bit surprised. But their feelings are not as obvious as this Foundation establishment late-stage disciple. Brother Li, have you broken through gold core yet? This Foundation establishment late-stage disciple finally axed out. Li Su gave a faint hum. The eyes of this Foundation establishment late-stage student widened in an instant. Around, the eyes of the other disciples in the refining period couldn't help but widen.